Well, another EP3 in the house, and this one's got some similar mods. So we've got an intake, a ram air induction kit, a 4-to-1 manifold from Jap Speed, and a 2¼ inch exhaust. This one's done 120,000 miles, so we're going to do a stock power run, and then at that point we'll see where we're going. Okay, so standard run made 208, so 208 to beat. Richard is now setting about tuning. Yeah. Happy days, eh, Rich? What? Bob. Same person. Another EP3 in the bag. So yes, this one came in on 208 brake horsepower and leaves on just shy of 230, I believe. I'm going to check that out. 228 brake horsepower. It's done all right, this one. It's got some mods, you know. So it's got a 4-to-1 manifold, and it's got I think it's only got a 2¼ inch exhaust system. It's got a great big
spoon rep exhaust.
Spoon rep exhaust, Richard says. It's got a great big ram air foam filter, and yeah, and it mapped up really, really well. So dead happy with that. Chuff, dropped some bombs. Yeah, a lot of fuel in my eyes, but it was all good, and it was worth. I hope it was worth the video for you guys, seeing the flames coming out the back of it. But yeah, another one, an interesting conversation we just had with Richard is this car has got very similar modifications to the car that we mapped previously, but so different in the map. So obviously taking a lot of fuel out of one, putting more fuel in the other, and yeah, it seems to have done really well. Richard, come in, join me. He's not going to join me, is he? I'll just wait here for him. I'll wait for him. He likes to make me wait, because obviously he's the boss.
I'm sorry, Daniel, I'm doing more of the duties.
He thinks he's the boss. He's doing his other duties.
He's doing the duties, like
here's Richard Ellis.
putting the AFR away, and putting the extension lead away, and putting the laptop away, and then fitting the ECU, and then taking the green plugs off the steering column, whilst you stand here and keep shouting, Richard, like that at me.
Did you?
Because you've got nothing else better to do.
Did you put these cable ties here?
No, I did not.
Look like your cable ties to me, mate.
Nope.
This one did well, didn't it, mate? Mate.
I told you about that word.
What do you want me to call you?
What do you normally call me?
Can't say that. We get demonetised instantly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's frowned upon, that sort of behaviour.
Yeah, it did good, this car. Well, again, a lot less miles, well, nearly 100,000 miles less than the previous one.
But like you were saying earlier, similar mods, yet the map's so different. You know,
I mean, the map in itself is obviously like the cam angles and the timing are not dissimilar, always within a few degrees of each other, never really a major problem. But yeah, fueling differences, massive. You know, like we were taking, generally, like on the car that we were setting up, we've got a good AFR on it. We're at least half an AFR, if not more, richer on this car. From the previous car, because it got very similar mods. I started with that file and shoot from there.
That's what
you know, and it's it's amazing. Like I say, when the people are talking about flash maps and they're sharing this file between 10 EP3s, or I had a conversation recently with someone in around the corner when I went to pick some parts up, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, it's all right. I've got files. I'm just going to like burn a file onto a K100 board and then sell it." Well, it's like, well, that's not mapped.
No.
I mean, it is mapped in the sense of like you've put a map file on it from another vehicle, but it's not mapped.
But this is why we say each car on their own merit, and why it's so important that you have cars on the dynos and you can make an adjustment and you can see all the data available to you.
Yeah, of course. It is important. I mean, people just seem to have this thing where they can just flash any file from any car onto it. Oh, this car was mapped, so it'll be fine. Well, it isn't, because, for example...
Even NA tuning, the differences are so... You imagine someone benchmarking a turbo Colt.
It's impossible.
It's
absolutely impossible. Yeah. It just doesn't work that way. I can't work out in my own head how it works. You know, there's a difference between that though and remote tuning. Remote tuning, if you've got the correct logs and obviously the information is available to you, then obviously it can be tuned correctly. But I still believe that you cannot then tell if you've just put 2 degrees of ignition time in. And yes, you might not have detonation and you might not have knock, but has it made an improvement? Yeah, is that car still making power? If you're adding time in and then you're getting to a point where if you're adding time until you get detonation and then back it off, that is not the same as where that car's making peak power.
No.
You know what I mean?
Which is exactly the same, realistically, as having your car tuned properly to its peak potential and then starting to make a load of adjustments on modifications, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just not how it works.
No. If it's been tuned to your modifications, you leave it alone.
That's right. Or you make some modifications, have it tuned again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's another one in the bag. And let's have a look at the graph. So as we always say, red line is as she came in, blue line is as she leaves. Plenty of power to be made in the mid-range there. Look at that. That's a wallop. And we've made power, like I say, across the rev range, even at peak. And we finished today on this car. There's I'm calling that 228 brake horsepower and 203 at the wheels. There you go. Well, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. If you've got any comments or you want to ask any questions, put them in the comments below, and someone will pick them up and come back to you. But other than that, we'll see you on the next one, won't we, Rich?
Indeed.
We will indeed.
Light was pretty fast.